Arkansas. It's noon on a Saturday, which means it's time for Around the House with Eric G. We're right in the middle of the holidays, which means it's the perfect time to get some extra cleaning done before family comes back through your doors later this month. Also, we're just weeks away from 2019, and with the new year comes new tariffs. We'll cover all that, plus take your phone calls. This is Around the House with Eric G.
Welcome to Around the House, everybody. Saturday afternoon. This is where we have a great time on Saturday afternoon. We're having a good time here in the studios. Well, we got a little bit of robotics going off over there. Interesting stuff. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. This is where we talk home improvement every Saturday afternoon. I want you to join us in the conversation because we got some fun today at 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595. And I want you to go over to Facebook because this is where we have a ton of fun on Facebook. We had a bunch of stuff this week that... fun projects going on. Everything from my More Good Day Oregon segment to recall lists. This is where we join the conversation. So jump in at ATHKXL. So jump onto Facebook, hit that, and we're good to go. Like, follow, all those things. Well, I'm Eric G.
I'm Dane Vaughter.
We're having fun here in the studio. So we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. First off, I wanted to dive into... this hour, we're going to dive into tariffs, and the next hour, we're going to jump into some holiday cleaning. But we want you to join in the conversation. So 503-417-9595. Did you have a good week this week, man?
I did, man. It was great.
It was great. We had our Alpha party last night for Alpha Media USA here in Portland, and we all made it through that, which was fun.
Last weekend, you hosted a wonderful holiday party. We had a good time.
Man. We had a good time at the house, so it's that time of year.
Right? Getting them all in.
You got it. Next week, you'll start hearing my version of Christmas music in the show, so we're going to have some fun on the holiday tunes for everybody. We're going to have a good time with that. So, this last week, I did a More Good Day Oregon segment down with Metro, and if all you guys that are not in the Portland area, that's this big government agency that runs everything from the zoo to your trash collection to everything else. So that's them, and we're not going to talk about that because that would turn this into a political show. So we're not going to dive into that. That's our one rule here on Around the House. But what do you do with all that hazardous waste?
Exactly. Everything that's sitting out in your garage.
Yeah, just all that stuff that's out there that you're never going to use, that if you had a fire or something spilled over, you'd have a mess. That's what we talked about. So I had some old gasoline that had been sitting in the Lincoln that I had in a gas can that I had to get rid of. It was so bad, I really didn't want to mix it in to any one of my other gas running things because I'm like, this is just so bad. It's just not good to run through the engine.
Yeah.
So I needed to get rid of that. And I had a can of wasp spray that I bought it. I used it once, but I had dropped it in the garage and it busted the spray nozzle part off.
Okay.
Well... What are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
So, I took that down there and then some old outdated paint color. Paint was good. Color was wrong. So that was one of those things. We got rid of that and just kind of talked about how you do it. I walked in there with a big box of stuff you'll see, and it was $5 to get rid of it.
Wow.
Almost everybody has that. So, less than what my large coffee would have been at Starbucks. Not a bad deal.
Now, you kind of mentioned it as far as your gas, and you lose something when you bring gas into Metro, right?
Here's the thing. Legally, you need to take flammable things in their packaging, like a gas can. You don't want to go down there with a 5-gallon bucket of gas because that's not really that safe. And you got to put it in a gas can. The problem is, take your janky gas can down there, but make sure it's sealed up. Make sure if you got to put a piece of plastic over the end with a rubber band or whatever, take your old gas can down there because you ain't getting back. You're donating the gas can when it goes down there because that's what they are going to hold it into, and they're not going to use it as a burnable, flammable solid until later. But you'll see that in the segment that we did. So that's up on Facebook, which is at ATHKXL. I just posted a backup again up there. And then when you're on there, make sure you follow Around the House Nation, because that is our closed group where everybody puts up projects. I had just commented, Kim is one of our big active.
She's our regular.
One of our regulars. She's just put up this whole cool project that she wants to dive into, which is creating these vintage-looking wood trees. And so we're talking about how to build that on there right now. So join us over on Facebook, Around the House with Eric G. That's where this show goes all week long. Well, let's start talking tariffs for a minute. And this is not going to be a debate about what the tariffs are and all this other stuff. This is a discussion how tariffs are going to affect your home improvement project. And they are now. Maybe you don't even know it. Like, for instance, I was talking with a contractor in his, doing some design work for a client, and he was fairly bummed because he had gotten a quote about 16 months ago on this pretty awesome but basic bathroom model. This is not some $500,000 to $1 million luxury home. This is a really cool 1940s house. It's getting a nice small bathroom put in it. And his project in 18 months went up 27%.
Then that seems to be about what you can expect across the board, is what I'm seeing.
That's how much that stuff's going on. Now, some of that's tariffs. Some of that is the increased labor rates that you're seeing because of the shortage of contractors out there. You know, that's the cost of us taking all these programs out of schools. There's no wood shop, metal shop, welding, auto shop, all these kind of things. So that is the cost that we're paying as homeowners of these labor rates going up there. I mean, right now in the trades, you can actually go out and get a job if you join a union or get into one of these trade schools. You'll probably get a job out there if you pick, finish carpenter, electrician, plumber,
woodworking, something like that.
HVAC person. You can go out right now and probably get a job making more than a school teacher does with that. So that's how much the demand is out there. And there's, I was just talking with Kevin O'Connor this week from This Old House fame, and you'll hear that coming up on one of these weekends on Around the House. We got that coming up. But we were talking about the trades because they did their Generation Next and trying to get people into the trades where they've been actually putting, for a number of years, people on the show as personalities that are kids learning, and young adults and adults learning how to get into the trades. So that's something they've been doing. They were working with Mike Rowe. So we'll talk about that later. But that's one of the problems that you're seeing. So you've got a combination of tariffs, shortages, gas prices, shipping. There's not enough semi-trucks out there hauling stuff around. That's one of the shortages you see out there. So
getting it from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah. Hey, we got it ready. It came off the production line, but we don't have any trucks to get it out there on. So bear with us. I've heard this. So it's one of those things that really gets, there's so much stuff going on commerce that way that it's tough when you're talking building materials. But the tariffs now have dove into just about every piece of building material out there. And it's affecting things like electrical, plumbing. Well, you got metals coming in from overseas. Most light fixtures made from metal. Where are they coming out of? Overseas. Most of the stuff you get, unless you could find a specialty home retailer that's building stuff here locally. But even then, metal still might be getting stamped, cast overseas, the pieces for it. So
it might say, made in USA, but it's just those
assembled
products. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Those products are coming here and being assembled here, but we're getting them from overseas, which is driving the price up.
Exactly. So, all right, let's jump in. 503-417-9595. I want to take your questions. 503-417-9595, just as soon as Around the House returns.
This old house is getting shaky. This old house is getting old.
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement every Saturday afternoon. Welcome back, everybody. By the way, Western Construction Systems, it's rainy season. Rains are back. For leaky basement issues, call Western Construction Systems. Get yourself a free estimate. It's free. Come on, have them check it out. Got to stop that stuff from happening. The integrity of your foundation is their specialty guaranteed, and that is CCB number 94222.
Good friends of the show.
Absolutely. We always appreciate them being part of the show here because that's what keeps... This isn't an infomercial. This is regular radio, and for all you listening on the podcast, thank you. We hit 30,000 listens this week for 2018.
Yeah,
so thanks,
total
everybody.
For the year.
Killing it out there. Thanks, everybody. That's great for a home improvement show, so we appreciate it. Make sure you like us on Facebook, and that's Around the House with Eric G. We're kind of doing a little bit of a run today to see if we can get up over the 18 100 likes on Facebook right now, so we've only got about 30 more to go. So make sure you jump on there, like and follow, all that stuff. We want you to join in the conversation, though. 503-417-9595. It's 503-417-9595. You know, we used to give out the 1-800 number, but I realized that everybody out there has free long distance, so what do we need to do that?
Yeah,
so,
no one's calling long distance anymore.
No, it just doesn't happen. So that's why we went back to the 503 numbers. So 417-9595. All right, we've been talking tariffs here and how that's affecting, you know, your project. So if you're just joining us, that's kind of the topic right now. But as always, you can call in with anything if you're working on a bathroom sink you're trying to fix, or maybe the toilet's acting up, especially with the holidays coming up. Call us in with that stuff, especially before the uncle shows up, destroys it.
Yeah.
Don't want to have to fix that. So now's the time to get after that. But, you know, here's the thing. With tariffs, there's tariffs that are about a 10% that you're seeing out there, and it's coming in from stuff coming out of China, and it's hitting hardwood, furniture parts. So maybe you're seeing furniture pieces or cabinets that are made here in the U.S., but they're actually cutting them out overseas. You're seeing that. Wallpaper, lighting, plumbing materials. You got metals. Of course, we talked about that. Vinyl for flooring, HVAC equipment, you know, metal roofing, cement, granite countertops, quartz countertops, furniture, you know, and doors.
I'm trying to think of something you didn't list.
Yeah. See, and when you're seeing this, is you're seeing like there's so many specialty veneers. We're sending the logs overseas. They're cutting them into veneers and sending them back over, but now you've got a tariff on it. So that's where that's hurting it. And so now you're seeing those things hit cabinetry. I mean, you've got all these different things. So we did just hear an announcement that they've got a 90-day reprieve on going to the next step, because right now we're at 10. The next step, which was going to happen January 1st, was going to add another 15 for a total of 25. So if you think about it, when you've got a project and half of that project is materials generally and half of it is labor. So if you've got a kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel you're doing, it's a 50-50 shot of kind of what those usually are. You know, of course it's different, but that's just a good thumbnail sketch of what the costs are. Half labor, half materials. Pretty common out there. So that adds a bunch to a project when half of your project could go up an additional 15 for a total of 25. That's a big number.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Now, you are also saying the 90-day reprieve, but that may not last 90 days.
That's a handshake. You know, who knows? All it takes is for somebody to get upset on either side and go, forget it. We're done. So that could be a big problem.
You're going to want to pretty much jump on getting your stuff as soon as possible. That's
the thing. So that's my theory on it right now. You know, okay, so it maybe bought people a little bit of time. But if you're thinking about doing a project here, geez, you're going to start something here in January, February, get those things ordered now. Now, here's part of the things that I've seen happen as well, is I've seen some shortages out there because so many people out there are doing it. All right, hey, we got a call. Let's run out here to Joe. Welcome to Around the House.
Hello?
Joe, welcome to Around the House.
Yeah,
what can I help you with?
Hey, we're having an addition put above our garage, and we're going to have this a deck, off of the garage.
Okay.
And the contractor wants to use tile, and I've never heard of that before, so I thought I would call you since you're the pro, and you can inform me if this is something that's standard or not standard.
You know, tile has a hard time here exterior-wise in the Northwest. Just because of all of our rain, all of our freezing, things like that. So, first off, you've got to start out with a tile that is rated exterior for freeze, because if it soaks any little bit of water inside of that, and we get a day that it's 25 degrees outside, that will explode. So, anytime you use a natural stone, or you just got to make sure you've got a fully sealed porcelain out there, like a solid body porcelain tile. They will say, most tiles will say if they're exterior rated and they're freeze rated, that's what you're looking for with that. But is this going to be over the top of a garage or is it going to be going over something that's supposedly waterproof?
Yeah, it's we're going to build a master bedroom over our garage. with a master bath and a walk-in closet. It's like 22 by 21 or something like that. And then we're going to have this view, have a deck that points to this view out in the valley. And the contractor was saying that he'd really like to use this tile with something like a water bladder, underneath of it. And again, this is something I've never heard of before, and I just thought I'd give you a call and see what you thought about.
Joe, it can look really good. So on the design side, yes. The problem is when you've got a tile surface out there like that, maintenance is tough because you're going to use you're going to want to use like an epoxy grout or something like that out there. But the edges and things like that, it's hard to keep looking clean, and it's hard to keep it, not from breaking and cracking and pieces falling off. They don't last very well long-term exterior-wise. And you'll see that in restaurants and stuff where you get outside and you'll see exterior tile surfaces out there. They do it, but man, you've got to have just an A-plus roofer in there that's going to actually create the whole waterproof membrane down below it. And then you're going to come out there on top of that, and then you've got to make sure that you've got everything sloped correctly so it can get the water away from there. If you've got driving rains or something like that, or snow buildup, you've got to plan for all of that. So there's a lot of different things to take into account with that. Can it be done? Yeah. Is this expert level tile and roofing? Absolutely.
Okay. Well, can I just ask you one other question here?
Sure, real quick, man.
Okay. So I think I got to share this here. So it is going to be covered, but it still will be exposed, to any rain that might be blowing towards it.
Yeah, even when it's covered like that, you still got to keep all those slopes correctly and stuff, because all it takes is one of our weird storms of driving rain, thunderstorm coming through with a weird wind. You want to make sure that you've got that ready to accept.
Would you just use tracks or whatever they
tracks. To me, if it was my house, that's probably what I would do, would be do a wood surface, and that way you could get underneath there and have it so it can be cleaned out and stuff underneath it. But that's the way I would go if it was me.
Okay. All right, man.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Joe. Thanks for listening to Around the House. Give us a call, 503-417-9595, just as soon as Around the House returns.
Hour, 9 a.m. and I'm gonna be high as a kite flying. I miss the year so much, I miss my wife.
Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement every Saturday afternoon, or whenever you want to. If you're listening to the podcast 24/7, you'll find this after the show ends, all across the interweb out there on just about any kind of podcast format you can find. If it's not on the one that you usually use, we'd be shocked, but I'd like to see it.
So let us know.
Let us know.
Get there.
ATH@KXL.com. That's another place you can get us. And Facebook is where kind of our preferred form of communication. You can find lots of different stuff on there, as well as our website, which has all my More Good Oregon segments and all the podcasts. We've got that, everything in one location, AroundTheHouseOnline.com. Hey, this segment Around the House is brought to you by Dare Homes, building quality, affordable custom homes throughout the Pacific Northwest for nearly 50 years. At DareHomes.com, they got that little tiny CCB number, 593.
It's because they've been around for a long time.
Nearly 50 years. Hey, let's run out here real quick. We've been talking tariffs, but like always, when somebody's got a question, we take it. Dwight and Canby, welcome to Around the House.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem. What can we help you with?
Well, I am freshening up a bathroom, and years ago when we freshened it up last time, I guess when we built it first time, we did everything in gold trim. So the angle stop coming out of the wall for the toilet is gold, and gold has got to go. It's past time for gold.
Gotcha.
So we're moving to a brushed aluminum, or in the angle stop, I probably will have to go to chrome.
You will, yeah.
But here's my concern. I am afraid to take this thing off because I've got copper coming out of the wall. I've done this once before in another bathroom.
Okay.
And it leaked for a long time, dripped for a long time, and I had to keep a little tub under it for months. And then it finally quit dripping, so I'm now happy. But I'm half afraid to take this thing out. I'm almost tempted to leave the angle stop and the and the beauty ring behind it.
Yep.
There, and go to chrome from that point up.
You know, you could, but those angle stops, if it's been there for 20 years, they're good to swap out. Now, is it threaded coming in there, or is it a compression type fitting?
It's a compression, and that's my concern.
That's your concern, yep, because that gets in there.
How do I get the compression off so I can get the beauty ring off, so I can put the chrome beauty ring on without that compression fitting leaking forever?
It's hard to say. It's just depending on how good that copper pipe is down there. How much room do you have between that compression fitting and do you have a little extra pipe back there? If we had to cut it back a little bit, is there any room, or are you flush up against?
I haven't even taken it off yet because I'm just afraid of the thing leaking.
Yeah, I guess my curiosity is if you've got a little bit of space behind the nut, where that goes into the back of that. If there's a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch before you get to the beauty ring, then you've got a little bit of space there. If worst case, if you had to recut that piece of copper after you get that off there, it gives you a little bit of room. But if you don't, that's where you're going to run into a little bit more problems. You're right. That could fight you a little bit. That's the problem with doing it that way.
What I did last time, because I was really short on copper, there wasn't much copper pipe. Mm-hmm. I took a hacksaw and very carefully cut through that compression fitting. And I think maybe what I did was put a small burr in the copper pipe is probably where it leaked for a long time.
Could be.
That's how I got the compression ring off of the last time when I changed one of these.
Yep.
But I was wondering if you had a real trick for doing it.
You're fighting it here, and I'm not the biggest fan of using some of the shark bite fittings and stuff where you can push them on. Yeah. But that might end up being something that you might have to do right there, is to get that compression ring and stuff on there and use a shark bite to get to that. But it's just not the prettiest setup on that. Really, the right way to do it would be to go back into that wall and sweat on a new, short piece of copper nipple coming out and reinstall an actual threaded one on there where you could actually thread that on and not have to worry about it the next time. That would be kind of what I would call the right way to do it, would be to open that wall up a little bit, which is a lot more work than any of us want to do on that. So,
well, I could have done that last week, but my tile guy come in and put tile down and put the base around.
Gotcha.
The base is right below the beauty ring now. So I think cutting into it maybe...
Well, unless what's on the back side of that wall? Is there a closet or something back there that you were going to work with?
No, it's outside the house.
Okay, then we're not going that way because that's a whole siding project. So. Well, you're kind of stuck here, man. First off, what you could do is, do you have any white? What colors you have in there? You have white or something where you could actually maybe get in there and actually tape it off and spray can that thing and make it look good. Take the handle off the angle stop and finish it.
Well, I could probably do that.
That might be your easier route, man. If this thing's working, you don't want to tackle it, maybe just throw some paint on it.
It's working and it's not leaking now, and that's why I'm a little reluctant to even break the threaded part and get the old angle stop off.
I'd get that thing cleaned up nice and find some silver paint. Take care of it that way, man.
I think that might be the best answer I've heard today. Okay, Eric. Well, thanks a bunch. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Good luck out there. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for listening to Around the House. That's one of those tough ones where you're literally painted in the corner. It's like, wow, the right way to do that is to dive in and do it. But, he's kind of past.
Well, and everything else
it out.
That he's done on this, I mean, that's somebody who doesn't do a whole lot of plumbing. That sounds ridiculous. Waiting months for a leak to flush out.
And that's the tough part with that. What I would do too, the other thing, if you were doing, brushed gold is back.
You told me recently. Gold
I've been doing a lot of brushed gold stuff. You could literally go in there with some sandpaper and knock that out real quick and just do some nice. Make it look brushed gold and then put brushed gold stuff in there, and you're going to have the only brushed gold angle stop out there, so it would be a bad way to go. But that's a whole other problem. But thanks, Dwight. That opens up another call at 503-417-9595. Give you some more room in there at 503-417-9595. And, man, we've been jumping a bunch of people on Facebook. I love it. Around the House with Eric G. at ATHKXL. We're trying to get above 1,800 people on there today. So thanks, everybody.
And that's a great spot to ask us a question if you can't call in or whatnot. And Mike, who almost nearly every week throws a question our way.
Yeah.
He's wondering about cedar coming from Canada as it relates to the tariffs or the cost.
Yeah, we've had lumber tariffs coming in from there too. So that's one that has been affected. Now, I'm not entirely sure with the new free trade agreement that just got proposed and somewhat signed, if that's still going on. I was actually looking for information on that, couldn't find it to see if that tariff was coming through. I would literally have to call the cedar guys and find out in Canada to figure out how that's going through and if that's working. So I don't have the current stuff on that, but it's something to take a look at. But yeah, that's one of the things is the Canadian lumber tariffs have really hit hard. If you're building a house out there, and you probably already knew this, you're seeing anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 in lumber tariffs add to the price of a brand new house right now. That adds up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That adds up in a big kind of way. So that's awesome. I mean, we need to know these things, so now you know what to do on the budget side of things.
You can plan for it.
Yeah. Now, here's what's going to happen, though, and I'm going to say this because it's kind of like gasoline prices. When they get up, they kind of just hang. They always seem to go up quick, but man, it takes a while for them to fall back on. So that's one of those things that, I think sometimes you'll see tariffs and increases like that. Rarely do I see when things like this have happened in the past that all of a sudden one day when they're off that they drop back 10%.
Yeah, no.
They always seem to drop back 6%.
They trickle back.
So they tend to be that slow pace on there. All right, we got calls coming in. So Mike in Vancouver, sit tight. When we come back here, we're going to take all your calls at 503-417-9595. That's 503-417-9595. We'll continue talking tariffs just as soon as Around the House returns. To Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement. We want you to join us in the conversation here. That number is 503-417-9595. 503-417-9595. I'm Eric G.
I'm Dane Vaughter.
We're having a good time in here today. We've been talking tariffs and what that means to your project. It's kind of an interesting one here. Of the $200 billion worth of Chinese imports right now, about $10 billion of that is used in the residential construction sector. So what I've seen too, just out of personal experience talking tariffs, is that, and this gets a little bit interesting, I saw like hotels, high rises, condo projects. They went in and got their orders in right before the tariffs hit. So you have this huge, massive incoming order stream. And so inventory went poof. I went to go order some high-end fixtures, and what was normally on the shelf, they're like, yeah, we've got 3 months of production to get caught up to ship your order.
Wow.
And it was something that was usually in the warehouse in the country someplace, and, you'd go to order, oh, yeah, we'll have it there within a week and a half or so, UPS, FedEx, whatever.
The normal.
Nope.
Nowhere.
Big wait. You're also seeing that, too, with cabinetry, even people that are making, plenty of great cabinetry here in the U.S. You're seeing that because a lot of people use the plywood or the particle board coming overseas. Same kind of thing. Maybe it's Canada, maybe it's China, wherever it's coming from. You're going to get hit on that. So here's the thing, looking forward with all of this stuff, with the inventory stuff, I would plan if you're ordering, custom stuff out there, give it another month of what you think the long lead time is. Get it in your house. And if you're working with a contractor that's basically sending you out to purchase materials, which I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of that when you're doing interior remodeling. I like, to have that go through the contractor, because the problem is, and we've talked about this in the past, let's say you order all your fixtures off of an online company. And I won't use the prime word or anything else like that. If you order all these things from some of these people, guess what? If there's a warranty issue, if you've purchased the product, it's your warranty issue. So if that sink is defective or that faucet's defective, that plumber's not going to warranty it for you. So guess what? You're paying them to come out and fix it. And what's the replacement policy? They're going to give you a new one. So you could save yourself, let's say you saved yourself $250 on your products for that remodel you're doing by ordering it online. But instead of ordering it through there, you're in charge of the warranty. Or even worse, the plumbers there are going to put it in. They open up the package. They're going to go install it. Oops, the wrong parts aren't here. Now you're paying double install because parts aren't there, can't do it. You got to order it.
It's all on you.
It's on you. So now you're paying double for that. So I always say, get it through your contractor, get it through your plumber. Because guess what? They're the ones that are out there on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock running around finding parts for it.
Well, and they know people, too.
They know people. They're calling their manufacturer going, hey,
Can we
some
find
parts
this?
out of the box.
Yeah.
I need it. And the plumber's taking care of it. So these are little tricks of the trade out there that you got to really pay attention to. And beyond the tariffs and stuff out there, just make sure you're ordering stuff early. Because right now, I think, who knows what they come up with. There's so many conflicting news stories about this is going great, this is going horrible. I don't care. That's all these people's speculation because that's all it is.
And their perspective.
So save yourself some money. Get it ordered sooner. Before you start that remodeling project, the best advice I can give you is you better have 95% of that stuff sitting in your garage before you start it. It's too big of a wait. Too big of a hassle on stuff.
You don't want to be sitting in a construction site for months.
I've seen hardware take 8 to 10 weeks to show up.
Wow.
Most cabinet companies out there are months to get new cabinetry built for your project. So, and then getting it there is the other thing too.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, you've got all these LTL type shipping companies. They do not do a great job on shipping cabinets. They do a great job of shipping cabinets, but there's always damage. So then what happens? Yeah. So let's say you got a kitchen cabinet package coming. Give yourself some time because you're going to have, if you've got a damaged piece, it's probably going to take them a month to get it there, especially if it's coming out of the area. And that's on a rush thing. So plan ahead, get it there, start the project.
Start planning and getting your products as soon as possible.
Yeah, and right now, ordering it early, you're going to save yourself some money because I'm already seeing the price increases, especially if you're doing a kitchen and bath project. Because here's the thing, the KBIS, which is the Kitchen and Bath Industry Show, and IBS, which is the International Builder Show, that's in Vegas this year, that is in the third week of February, which I hope to be down for that. That is when almost everybody's price increases will be there because they're going to be talking new products. When they come out with new products, it's a great time to update the price list.
Yep.
So you'll see the new products. They'll be handing out the new price list. They'll be online. So usually this December, January, February is the biggest time of the year to see those price changes because that's when you're going to get hit. And we're smack dab in the middle of that right now. The other stuff you'll see will be July, August, kind of that mid-year push there.
About every 6 months.
All right, that wraps hour number 1. Hour number 2, just as soon as Around the House returns.